Hello everyone, welcome back to another edition of Wordle with Art. Today we are going to be solving Wordle number 668 for Tuesday, April 18th. However, before we get today's Wordle solve and the challenge that accompanies it, I thought I would share with you something very special because today here in Massachusetts, it's Patriots Day. And what does that mean? It means it's the annual Boston Marathon. I believe today's was the 127th edition. And guess what? I got a special VIP pass from a super nice friend of mine, which allowed me to have access to the runners, and I was able to see them from the grandstand right at the start line in Hopkinton, and I got to see a couple of the waves go off. Guys, how about just taking a quick minute, that's all this clip is, and enjoy the footage that I took at today's Boston Marathon.
30 seconds for wave 4. This will be the last announcement until you head to Boston. Good luck, everyone. That's the shot heard round the town. Abby Rosenberg releasing wave 4, the 127th BAA Boston Marathon. And we're cleaning it up now. Once again, a reminder, if you're looking to get rid of a layer of clothing, please pass it to the right or left. Just don't drop it in front of you. It becomes a hazard. There are water stations every mile, starting at mile 2. Running for Ryan. Yeah, there we go.
All right, guys, so I hope you enjoyed that. And hopefully one of these days I can also get back into the Boston Marathon. As you probably know, I do some marathoning myself. I've done Boston 3 times in 2014, 2015, and 2018. And those same years I also did the New York Marathon, which, to be honest, I do prefer a little bit more. All right, so here we go, guys. Let's embark on today's Wordle. This is going to be a super hard one. As you know, the goal of today's Wordle is, are you ready? To make sure that you do not use any of the Wheel of Fortune letters on your first 4 guesses. So in effect, S, T, E, R, N, and L are banned from the first 4 guesses. So it's not until guess 5 that you can actually go ahead and start using them. So this is going to be very scary, but the screen looks good. And here we go, guys. All right, here we go. Now, I found, as you saw from my little demo solve from the previous Wordle, that I went with Bayou, and I liked that because, what's nice about it is, okay, I'll take that. It gets you 3 out of the 5 vowels plus Y, and B is not bad. So we got an O and the U. So the way I see it, the more of these letters that pop up, obviously the better, because then we don't have to hassle ourselves with all of those Wheel of Fortune letters, which we really do take for granted. And it's very frustrating because in so many cases, you want to use like an L, or you want to use, I actually find the L especially and the N, but you can't, at least not until guess number 5. All right. Now, I found that chimp was a very, very good follow-up to this. So you basically do get 10 unique letters, and you get rid of all the vowels except, of course, for E, which we have to withhold until guess number 5. So let's hope. I'd be absolutely thrilled if I could just get one more letter. Did we get one? Yes. Okay. Woo! I like this. Now, right off the bat, house is looking like it could be in play. Okay? House is looking like it could be in play. I'm not too scared of an ER trap because, honestly, I don't even think you could have an ER trap. Because, we have too many vowels to make that happen. So I'm definitely thinking house. So now the strategy at this point would be to try to confirm that. Now, of course, it could be other things because it could certainly end in H as well. But house does look good. Let's see what could happen if we end in H. So it could be like TH. Thing is, we've had things like we have had month before, and we wouldn't have it anyway because we lost the M in chimp. Let's see. So house is good. We wouldn't have cough because we lost the C. So let's think about some OUGH words. Rough. We haven't had rough, so that's a good one. Oh, this is actually, this is pretty interesting. So it could be rough. It wouldn't be tough. We did have that. It could be dough, DOUGH. Interesting. Okay. So rough and dough. So I actually think in that case, let's do fudgy, okay? Let's do fudgy to test for a few extra letters. I know that we waste the U and the Y. Well, we don't really waste the U, actually. Maybe that'll get positioned. If anything, it'll narrow it down. And then I'm going to probably say, hey, that's pretty good. And now let's try to position them on the fourth guess. So please, if we got one more letter, that'd be phenomenal. Yes! Okay, we got another letter. Guys, the Wheel of Fortune letters fortunately did not come into play today, did they? In fact, that would be kind of hilarious if we don't even get one of them. All right, so we have 4 letters. This is fantastic. Now, it is not going to be dough because we lost the G. So we absolutely want to start thinking about what this word actually will be and get as much positioned as possible on the fourth guess, and then maybe go for it on the fifth guess. We'll see, okay? So H-O-U-D. Hound. H-O-U-N-D. There you go. It could be hound, right? We have not had hound, okay? We have had found, round, and sound, but we have not had hound, and today would be a good day for it, in which case we would only have one Wheel of Fortune letter with the N. All right. So what would be a good way to test this hypothesis of it being hound? Because if it were hound, I know I don't want to guess it right now, because if it were not correct and it's something else, then I will lose the challenge, but hopefully still solve the Wordle. Well, I guess howdy wouldn't be bad for positional, would it? Howdy would not be bad for positional whatsoever, because if you think about it, if the H and the O are locked in, then the D would have to go at the end, and I'm pretty sure we would end up going with hound. So shall we go with howdy? Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. Perfect. All right, this is going absolutely perfectly. So I am absolutely pretty sure that we can go with hound because the U will have to go after the O. And I'm just double checking that, there's nothing else that could go there. No, I think we got this. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Woo! All right, guys. Now, the funny thing is, again, a lot of people I think will say, oh, Art, that challenge was so easy. I think the thing is, what's going on here is that the concept of the challenge, I think, at times seems pretty intimidating. But, it's just a lot of luck. Like, remember, twins, girls, sweet. I mean, we literally got that on the next guess. It's just the luck. So this is going to be, I think, again, very easy for some people. Some of you might have been pretty bold and actually go for it on the fourth guess, which would be pretty impressive. I'm totally happy with guess 5. It's very nerve-wracking because I practiced this quite a bit to have to get it onto guess 6. Fortunately, we didn't have to go that. And yet we have yet another Wordle challenge solved. So although they seem very tricky and somewhat difficult, in spirit, in practice, they have not been that bad at all, have they? All right. But I have another one for you guys. Are you ready? We have another cool one. So let's go ahead and just move this out of the way. And are you ready, guys? Here we go. For tomorrow's challenge, you got to have more vowels than consonants, all right? So this is going to be pretty tricky because if you think about it, we only will have 5 vowels. And of course, the rest are consonants. Excuse me. So let's go over this. And once again, I think I have a nice example. All right. So the bottom line is your goal is to make sure that in your entire solution path, that means your guesses plus the final answer that you got, must end up having a total tally with more vowels than consonants, okay? Now, let's just put 2 additional caveats to make the rules 100% clear. To make it a little bit harder, we are going to enforce that Y and W shall be considered consonants for this challenge, okay? Y and W are going to be consonants. So your vowels are simply going to be the A, E, I, O, U. Got it? Okay, so that way there's no confusion, no ambiguity. Second, you can't repeat any words more than once, okay? So each word in each row of your solution path must be unique. All right, let's take a look at Art's example. So once again, for some of these challenges, I actually do like to start off with Slate. Some of you prefer just to go straight for the kill and, load up the first word with something maybe like audio or adieu. I prefer to hold back and kind of read off of things and get the feedback before I maybe kind of like potentially dig a hole for myself where I can't even solve the Wordle. So I'm going to start with Slate, as I did in this case, and I will tomorrow as well. I kind of forgot what my algorithm gave me, but I was fine to just do Squirtles, which I know is Diner. And then after Diner, I knew that, yeah, I'm starting to fall behind on the, on getting my vowels, right? Like right now, I would definitely lose. And then I dug the hole even deeper with Badge, okay? I have quite a few more consonants than vowels at this point. However, Badge, I was almost certain at that point that it had to be rodeo. That seemed to be the only valid answer. And so I did audio, which gets you 4 vowels and only 1 consonant. And then I did the math. And again, this is a little bit of an accounting problem, similar to that Roman numerals thing that we had. And I went with rodeo, okay? And now if you add it up, guys, let's go for it. So Slate has 2 vowels, A and E. Diner has 2 vowels, I and E. Badge has 2 vowels, A and E. Audio has 4 vowels, A, U, I, O. And finally, rodeo has 3 vowels with the O, E, O. Excuse me. And now if we add them all up, we get 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 4 plus 3, which is 13. And if you think about it, if you do a 5-row Wordle, that means you've used 25 letters. And thankfully, 13 is more than half of 25, which means we edged it out just by 1, but that's enough. As long as you get more vowels and consonants, you win. And this is going to be a tricky puzzle because if the word itself is very dense with consonants, it's going to make it tricky. So plan wisely for this one, guys. I think it'll be a good one. And with that in mind, guys, yes, I will look forward to seeing you tomorrow with yet, excuse me, another edition of Wordle with Art.